Hey guys, this is Maria with J&M Garden. So I'm back for the last week of April garden tour, and just wanted to quickly show you anything that's changed. And I haven't done anything in the garden this week. I've been extremely busy, but things are still growing, and we've had quite a bit of rain, so things look really good right now. Here in the daffodil patch, I need to come out and weed again, but along with everything's growing, weeds and plants. These Globe Master, I think these were like either Globe Master or Purple Giganteum alliums. Only two out of the 4 are blooming, which is kind of disappointing. I can tell that the other ones aren't going to bloom, because with alliums, what I've noticed is once they start to yellow, they're not going to bloom. And it's crazy because these bulbs were really, really expensive. So I don't think that I'm going to try to plant this variety again. I'll just buy the regular ones that are the same exact size as they give the same exact size blue messies, but aren't as big of a bulb, and just do those next year. The Trillium is still there. No bloom on it. I can see that Astilbe is starting to get a flower spike on it, so that's pretty exciting. And then the only thing that is really new this year is this Jack in the Pulpit is in bloom, and it has 2 leaf spikes instead of just 1 like last year. So it's definitely growing. I'm glad it's perennial. I wasn't sure if it was gonna come back or not. And then the other Trillium is still in there. It's just looking a bit sad because it's being overtaken by the weeds. Oh gosh, almost lost my balance. I did notice that hydrangea came back. It's a little baby. I just took a piece off from another hydrangea. That one came back. This limelight hydrangea looks really good. I need to weed around that one. But if y'all notice, like all these daisies that I planted out a couple of weeks ago, like now they're starting to look green, the ones that are gonna make it. And then these daffodils are definitely growing now. But look at all these foxgloves. Purple is my favorite, but I can hear that there's a bee inside one of them right now. I don't really... Oh, look. Look at that. Sometimes when I go outside into the garden, since it's springtime, still, especially in the afternoon, I'll see just plants buzzing around all the areas where we actually have flowers. So that's pretty exciting. But I do see growth on some of these like angel trumpet trees. I almost think that something's eating them, but I'm not sure. And then these blueberries. I can see the blueberries on there now. But these were supposed to be planted out. It's really hard to garden right now because I'm so pregnant. So today I'm 34 weeks pregnant. And it's just really hard to do digging. Like that motion of digging is really hard for me. So, I mean, I think that I'm going to try to do as much as I can, especially with seeds, because seeds don't require as big of a hole. But like where I wanted to plant out those blueberries and plant out this olive somewhere so it can winter over better, because we had a really mild winter, but so it didn't have a lot of dieback. But the previous winter, I mean, let me see if I can step in here. All of this died back, so it's like every single year is starting from scratch. But here, all of the bachelor buttons that Jasmine planted, they look great. But then for the Love in a Mist, like half of them died. So what I might do is come and just like direct sow some, which I don't think I'm very good at direct sowing seeds, because you have to keep them consistently watered. And so I much rather plant a bunch of seeds, get a bunch of seedlings, and plant them and have half of them come up than have hardly any of the seedlings come up. I don't know, it's like a lose-lose situation, but this foxglove looks really good also. And that is the Baptisia blooming. It looks really good. It's a purple and yellow variety. And then over here, this right here is called a hummingbird mint. And so I haven't tried to smell it to see if it smells like mint or anything, but it's supposed to have really cute flowers. And let's see. God, we need some more grass. But in these beds, I think these alliums are called Mount Everest. They're really beautiful. I really like this variety. But the problem is, last year we had like 6 in this bed, and this year we only have 3. So I don't know what to do to make them come back better. But the Dianthus looks great. It's in bloom. And the primrose is getting ready to bloom. And then this one, I think it's called Canterbury Bells. I'm not sure. It's getting close to blooming, and this is the first time that it blooms. It's been 2 years in the making, because I grew it from seed, and it's a biennial, so it takes a long time. But also, since we didn't have a very hard weather, that herb that I planted down there came up. I have the little tag from the nursery on it, but I can't reach it right now. I can't bend over that far over there. So we'll just find out later what it is. And the oregano, even though it's been cut back, looks great. I did use some of the plants in here for a project, and hence the bald spot over there. And maybe I'll show it to you guys later, but it was just for a party. And these lilac look really good. Let's go over here. I'll show you guys real quick. The purple oxalis, the areas that get more shade look better, like there and there. But then as you get farther down, I think that the more sun they get, they don't look as good, except for that one down there. That one kind of just like ruins my theory. But I mean, the hellebores are pretty much done. So now it's time for these astilbe to start getting ready to bloom. And look, my a lace leaf weeping Japanese maple tree, it flushed out leaves and looks really good right now, especially like with the sun hitting it right on the edges. It looks good. I just saw one of my neighbors. She's taking a walk, and she saw me with my phone out and just was like, oh, nope, I don't want to be in that. And turned around. But here, this plant right here, this purple coneflower, that one must have been one of the original coneflowers in here when I transplanted it, because it's bigger than some of the other ones. But everything's looking good. It's looking pretty good for this area, because this area gets full sun. And sometimes plants in this area can get really scorched. But that's another one of the purple coneflowers. Oops, sorry. That I think is one of the original ones. And then these little ones over here must be like, that must be their second year, and the other ones, it must be their third year. I thought there was a balloon flower in this spot right here, but I think maybe I made a mistake and it's not there. But basically, whenever I see some cone flowers come up where I don't want them, I take them out. I like dig them out and put them somewhere else. But yeah, they look really good, especially like this sedum. It looks really good. And I know that this little one I'm gonna move because I only want it to be like the arborvitae and the two sedums. All right. But out here, the iris is still blooming. I see a second spike, which is really exciting because, like I said, I think that it was too crowded and that's why it wasn't blooming. Because once I took those extra rhizomes out, now it looks great. The clematis is starting to go over, and I think that these wallflowers are almost done. I'm supposed to chop them back when they start getting like this, but I really like the color, so I might wait. I don't know. If you don't chop them back early enough, they put too much energy into making seeds, and then they won't overwinter and come back next year. But I was not expecting this. I'm really glad I came out here this early. Which isn't early, but it feels early because I'm so tired. Look at this peony. And it has a bunch of spikes on it. So that's really good. I'm glad. Hopefully it doesn't fall on the road, and hopefully when we're backing out we don't run over it. But that one's a blanket flower. That one should bloom consistently throughout the summer, so that's good. But pretty much everything else over here, I've never had my my lamb's ear bloom, so maybe this time it is. It looks like it's sending out some taller spikes, but I've never had it bloom, so we'll see what happens. But the only things that will start blooming over here are that Veronica, and I can see some buds on the daylily, so I'm glad, because peonies I feel like don't bloom that long, but they do bloom beautifully. Alright, my boxwoods are still alive. My dog hasn't killed them. But one thing that I did notice that I thought was dead but isn't dead are these plants right here. Let me see if I can point them out. And they're turtle heads. So I'll try to keep my dog out of this area. Hostas still look good. That epimedium looks a lot bigger than it has in the past, and I think I'm gonna have to move it because I actually have some other plants that I want to plant here. But yeah, so I actually threw some seed out here, just random seeds, and I'm starting to see where the seedlings are coming up, because I know that I did not plant forget-me-not over here, or that other plant. I think it's like what is it called, that black-eyed Susan or something. And also these little things, those aren't weeds, those are actually little flowers. But yeah, those weren't I mean, I guess intentionally yes, because I planted the seeds, but that's about it. This phlox still looks really good, but look at these irises. Look at how beautiful they are. Well, obviously these are more striking, like the color draws your eyes more, but I really like these like maroon and yellow ones. which came out first. And actually at first when I planted these, I thought that these were like the dwarf Dutch irises that had bloomed earlier in the spring. And so I thought that, I was like, oh man, I planted these too late, they're not gonna bloom this season. But it was a different variety. And look, that plant that I've just been letting sit there because I'm like, I know this isn't a weed, I think this is a plant. It's probably from the seeds that I dispersed around here, which I do that everywhere in my yard. I just throw seeds, and if they come up, they come up. If they don't come up, they don't come up. I mean, they're like dollar packages, so I'm not like super bummed when they don't. But I think it's getting ready to bloom, so it's kind of exciting. All of this Coreopsis looks really good. I'm glad the stalks are taller. And the hostas, all the hostas, that one, and that angel one, and the Empress Wu, are still looking good. So I'm not gonna move them yet. That right there is new growth for that clematis. So I'm glad that it didn't fully die. Basically, I had it in a hanging basket or a mounted basket, and it fell off the wall, and I didn't realize that its roots were all exposed, and I just didn't get around to planting them up fast enough. But here's some more dianthus, some forget-me-not, the I think this is called some salvia. Yeah, salvia. More forget-me-not. Those rose is starting to get ready to bloom. Oh, that foxglove is blooming too. And then, oops, the Aquilegia that I planted. I think it was called like a double bonnet or something like that. Look at that, how beautiful. That, I'm so proud whenever I grow something from seed and it looks so good. I haven't weeded this area yet. Like I said, I didn't do anything this past week because I was so busy. But this David Austin rose is blooming, and I think it's called Tranquility, and it smells really good. Let's go to this side. So on this side, the only thing, well, the snapdragons are still blooming. Something keeps knocking it over, or the rain, I don't know. But I was surprised to see that this Datura didn't die over the winter. So, I mean, that means we really, really had a mild winter. But let me show you this rose, because it is so beautiful. It's supposed to be fragrant, but look at how beautiful it is. Gorgeous. And all of these turned out to be similar colors. Let's see. Look at that with the foxglove. That's a sage right there. I was trying to get some stuff that would just in general smell really good out here. But that's pretty much it out here. I did plant some more primroses in this area. I'll probably put a bunch of primroses in this bed. To be honest, they're not very beautiful, but the pollinators really like them. So I'll probably do that. Let me see if these have the little balls yet. No, not yet. That just grew there randomly. And then over here, my mint is just taking over. But let me go ahead and grab some because we're gonna make some tea for breakfast. And then the last thing that I have to show you is this other Aquilegia. And look at how big it is. And this one's not a double bloom, so this one you can see it a little bit better. But basically that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the notifications, and have a great day. Bye bye.